Welcome to the Speak by Design podcast, where we study personal style, message structure, and message strategy so you can become a consistently compelling force. Let's dig in. What are some of the things you've been wanting to delegate to your team, but you haven't? Go ahead and make a list of those. Even jot down one, at least one. Because if by the end of this lesson, you have one thing you can go get off your plate, you have freed up time and space for the future. It takes you more time up front to delegate. It pays off big time in the end. See if you can work yourself out of your current job. Why is that helpful to you? Well, for one, it helps you move on to your next job. And then for two, it is developing your people. It is developing your people, letting them add more value, helping them become their best selves at work. As soon as you stop learning at work, that's when you start looking for other opportunities. That's when you start wanting to apply for other jobs. As long as people are growing in their roles and developing, they want to stay. As long as they feel like they're being nurtured like a plant into a big tree. They come in as a sapling and then they end up a giant oak tree. That's the goal. And that's your job. And if you're not delegating, not only are you not keeping the good people, but you are not growing yourself. Why is it that people don't want to delegate? Sometimes I think it is because they think that they will work themselves out of a job and they won't have a position at work. They will no longer be valuable. That is the wrong way of thinking. That is thinking small. And anytime you can tell that somebody else around you is thinking that way, help them understand what opportunities and what pathways ahead of them are possible if they could delegate and elevate themselves. So delegate and elevate, I'm going to share with you ideas for how you can get people to do more. And it is part of a sales job, but is also a teaching job. And usually people struggle in one of those. They might be really great at teaching, but they make the job look menial or not that exciting, and they don't get the passion growing in the person to take on that task or that owning that process or even thinking bigger. The easiest things to delegate at first are going to be the tactical things, the tasks, and they still require teaching though. It is harder to delegate things that require judgment and deeper decision making. And when the manager tries to delegate those items, that's unfair because the person who's a direct report needs your help with that. And it will be deflating if you say, oh, you get to make a decision. They make a decision and you say, ooh, no, we can't do that. And you shut it down. So be careful in what you delegate as well. Again, though, why do you resist delegating? And look for all the reasons you might resist. Often people tell us in our trainings on delegation that they resist because they don't trust their people. Their people have let them down in the past, and they know they can't do it, won't do it, don't want to do it, so they end up doing it for them. Well, that is irrational because now you're accepting substandard performance and you're accepting it, and it is likely dragging down the productivity of the team and probably upsetting the peers of those people who are underperforming. Other people are carrying their weight, but these people are not, and they get to keep their jobs. And that's demotivating for anyone to see or witness that going on. And it's because the manager is fearful of repercussions, fearful of having to spend time going through difficult performance reviews and letting someone go and then having to hire somebody again and having to retrain all over again. And they see that cycle out there and they don't want to even give the difficult feedback or try to delegate any further. But know your reasons. Maybe you've got a good reason for not delegating because it is a task that should not be delegated, or it's at a time where this person doesn't have capacity and they would be very demotivated by the additional task, or you don't have the time to teach it. But that is not that great of an excuse because it does not take time to teach. What we do in our company for teaching is we make a video. We write out the steps. We send the video and the steps to the person. We then get on a Zoom call. We show them one time, or we make them watch the video in front of us, and then we have them replicate it, summarize it back verbally, and replicate it. And then we ask them, do they see an easier way to do what we did? Is there an improvement that we could add? So we're always inviting that person to improve the process we just shared. Because what we don't want is to keep creating tacticians who are not strategists, who are not thinking about process improvement and efficiency and making things better. But if you're always asking, that's what the process is today, what could make it even better? You are starting to cultivate that mindset of continuous improvement. Then you let them do the task. Then you make sure you give them feedback. You review the task and you help them understand what worked and what could be even better. And that becomes the pattern. And once people start to realize this is your way, that you're going to show them, you're going to have them summarize it, and then they have to show you back, and then they'll get around to feedback the next time they do it. That becomes a model that you can repeat on everything, every task. And you get into that loop of giving continuous, measurable feedback when you can, but qualitative feedback too is very helpful to the person. When they receive no feedback after a task, they start to question, did I do it right? Do they like it? Your responsiveness does matter. That does create their motivation to continue to keep doing what they're doing. I love to ask people, what do you wish your manager was saying to you? And they always say, I wish my manager was saying, keep doing what you're doing. But managers don't take the time to say that, do they? No, because we're like, oh, that's good. I'm on to the next. But your person needs to hear that what they're doing is enough. And then you can start adding more of those good to great stretch opportunities, what can make it even better type moments, but still helping them understand that what they're doing is meeting the standard. There is a 3-part process to delegation, and it will sound simple, but it is not simple. And there are 2 sides to each of the 3 steps. So the first step is, does your direct report know what to do? Sounds simple. Do they know what to do? Yes, I told them. But did you tell them clearly? Did you tell them in writing? Did you make a video? How do they know what to do? And then on the other side of that, did the person listen to you? Did they have a good connection when you told them over Zoom what to do? Do they know all the acronyms you used, all the terms you used, all the systems they're going to have to touch? Do they know how to find the contacts, the people that you mentioned? Do they really know what is required? Or did you give the light version of what they need to do? Were you complete and comprehensive? And did they actually hear it, digest it, and retain it? That is hard. Listening is not easy. Are you a great listener? No, I think all of us are failing every day on some level in listening. And this is where it's very helpful after you delegate the task and make it as clear as you can. We recommend using the W's. What do you need to do? Why do you need to do it? When, where, how, and who will be using it and who can they involve in the process? All the who questions. But when you use your W's, that helps you be more complete. But if you just do it verbally, how do you know for sure that they retained it? So if you can say it verbally, have them write it down and send it to you, the summary of the task, or you write it down, you also verbally explain it, and then you ask them to explain what they heard. But we need that second step where they have to summarize the task back to you, because I guarantee you they won't get it right. There will be something they misunderstood. There will be further questions. There will be some uncertainty, some confusion, and you want to clear that up early on. So, did they know what to do? Do they know what to do? Did and do. And did is going to be important because after they do the task, if they do it incorrectly, you want to be able to go back and ask, did you know what to do? Did you feel like you had all the information you needed to do this? And you might even realize, oh, my mistake. I know you didn't have all the information you needed. That's on me. And I'm sorry about that. I understand why you couldn't do this correctly now. The next step, though, is can they do it? So sometimes people know what to do, but they literally can't do it. And an example of that is, let's say I know that I'm supposed to do a regression analysis, but I've never done one before. So I know what you need and want. I even have seen an example, but I haven't ever done the math of that model. I don't know how to do the formulas exactly the way you want them done. I know a way, but maybe it's not your way because I've never been taught to that level. So this is about capability. So maybe I don't actually have the skill, but this can I do it might actually be about my capacity. And perhaps I have way too much on my plate and I'm someone who doesn't always speak up and say, no, I don't have time for that. I just keep saying yes, yes, and then I'm not meeting deadlines. So this is the part, can the person do it? Do they have the time, the resources, the knowledge, the skills to do this? Now, not so much, knowledge, let's keep knowledge in the first step, that do they know what to do? But I mean like background and experience, expertise in being capable of doing this. And people will say, oh, yes, I know how to do that, thinking that they can find a video that will explain it to them. But without that video or side-by-side teaching, often people are not productive or efficient in completing the task. But the third one is, do they want to do this? So it's know, can, and want is the system. Does the person even want to do this task? And this is where people are not honest, in my opinion, because the direct report feels like they can't admit that they don't want to do it, and then that would be unprofessional. So they put on a very positive face and say, yes, I'm so excited to work on that, but then they don't take action. Or they say, I'd love to help you. How can I help you? Let me know how I can help you. And then you tell them how they could help you, and then they don't do anything. So the truth underneath everything might be that they don't want to do that. They wanted a different task, but they don't like the task that you gave them. Now, this one, you might have to directly call it out. Did you really want to do this? Because I can tell you prioritize these other items over it. And those are not as important as this item, which makes me believe you didn't want to do this. But they won't want to do it unless you help explain how important it is, how it will be used, who will be looking at it, how it will be celebrated, how it will help them in their careers personally if they achieve this. And that if they can do this, you can trust them with other activities. You can bring them to meetings to discuss this. They need to know why that task is special. And that is the sales job that the manager needs to be able to do. So know, can, and want. Now let's suppose, though, that they know what to do, they can do it, and they want to do it. So they do the task, and then is that the end? No. There has to be that feedback loop where you come back and say, listen, you did this great. Thank you so much. Can you keep doing this every month? Or can we have you teach others how to do this? So that's if it's flawless and wonderful. But if it's not, that you are able to say, these parts were spot on. Here are a couple of ideas to try out the next time. Or maybe it fell off the rails and you have to say, help me understand what happened. Was there something unclear in how I set this up for you? Or did you find out once you got into the task that you didn't have the time or the skill to do it? Or was it just not something you wanted to work on? Now, when you spell it out that clearly to people in the no can want system, they have to explain what the obstacle was. Most often, people will say time, or they will say, I didn't realize how critical it was. Or as I got into it, it was much more complicated than I thought. Or, yeah, it wasn't really clear exactly what you wanted. Now, you will feel defensive in these moments and frustrated. That is normal, but manage your own emotions in that and say, it sounds like I could have been clearer in the setup. I also, next time that happens, if it's not clear, I need you to speak up immediately. Let me know what's not clear. Like, don't wait weeks and weeks to then tell me this was harder than you thought. I want to know within a day what is unclear. And second thing, on that it was more complex than you originally thought and you needed more help. All of us are in those situations. Of course, you need more help from time to time. And there are people who can help you, or we can give it to someone else who can do it side by side with you and teach you. Or maybe we have to pull it off your plate because of time and capacity. And that's okay too. But this last piece, I don't know if you really wanted to do it because I've watched you in other tasks and I know when you're energized about the work and when you're not. I don't think you wanted to do this. And I have to do things I don't want to do either. This particular task, while it might feel tedious, is incredibly important. And I want to help you understand that when we get this task done, it's going to lead to a lot of other opportunities for our team, for you, for the organization as a whole. It's a really important task with a lot of visibility around the corner. I can see how that wasn't obvious, and I could have done a better job helping you understand how it connects to the bigger picture. That's on me. So using no, can, and want when things go off the tracks in delegation is incredibly powerful too. You use it in the setup of the task, and then you use it in the feedback loop as well. And for no, can, want, you might be wondering, do I actually tell people this system? Yes, tell them. Say, oh, have you ever heard of the 3 questions when you're getting a new task? It's, do I know what to do? Can I do it? Do I want to do it? And I want to make sure that you know what to do, you can do it, and you want to do it. If we get through this exercise and it's not what we envisioned, we can talk about what was unclear. Now let's take the direct report out of it. You as a manager will get incredible intelligence on your people using no, can, and want for yourself. So for example, Joe I might not need to motivate him to do a task. He might be the kind of person who just loves something new and he gets it and wants it without me having to do much. But then there's Mary who needs to be inspired. When I give Mary a task, I might begin like this. Mary, I've got a project for you. This is exactly what you've been asking for. I remember when you said I want a stretch opportunity that will give me more exposure to senior leadership and help me build more analytical skills. This is going to help you do both. And now I know you haven't done this before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video of myself doing a portion of this task. Then I want you to make a video of yourself doing it. Let me check your work. I'm traveling this week. I'd love to meet with you in person, but that's not going to be possible. Make me the video. Let me check your work and then give you the green light to keep continuing and doing that across all the data. Then after that, in a week, I want us to sit down and prep for the meeting. You will deliver a meaningful portion of this analysis. I want you to come into that meeting with me and show me what you would do without any guidance from me. And then I will give you feedback on what you did. I will show you how I would like you to do it. And then that will be our rehearsal with one another. We'll do another rehearsal prior to that leadership meeting. How does that sound? All right, so Mary, if you don't mind, please send me an email that just summarizes what we talked about so that I can add on to that note with other ideas that come to mind. I'm sorry I don't have more time to talk about it. I'm so excited about this project for you. Now, that's me rushing through delegating a task. If you have the time and you can spend a half hour really teaching and explaining things, even better. Allow people to record you too, because the recording is very helpful for people to refer back to it. They can take the transcript and put it in ChatGPT and make a guide from it. There's so many advantages to being able to use recordings more and more. All right, folks, so that is our lesson on delegate and elevate. Remember that initial task. I said, what is that thing you wish you could delegate? Let's go give it a go. Schedule a time with that person. Go through know, can, and want. Make sure they know what to do, they can do it, and help them want to do it. Once you feel the success of using this tool with people, not only will you like how simple and organized it is, they will too. And then you can keep doing it over and over with new task after new task. Get yourself organized. Make a list of all the tasks you want to get off your plate over the next 6 months and do them systematically in this way. It's going to feel great. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye. If you are enjoying all of these lessons, but now you're hungering to turn all of this into skills and habits that make this work intuitive and natural so that you don't have to think about it, then you want to join Speak by Design University. That's our coaching program that gives you private coaching, group coaching with me, group training, self-paced learning, as well as exceptional networking with other people like you. This program is for managers and above, people whose careers are on fire and they're looking to hit their next level, and they want to do that sooner rather than later. Check it out at speakbydesign.com/join. That's speakbydesign.com/join, and you can start with us at the 1st of next month. We hope to see you there.